Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here for a Sunday evening video. Right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube Wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down there, you know where it is. In the description box below, otherwise known as my pants. So subscribe to my channels right now. Now, you know what happens, but subscribe to the channels, and leave a comment on this video, or any one of my videos on my respective channels from the past, the present, which means now, or in the future, Conan, but don't leave stupid comments. You're gonna get blocked, sent to the Shadow Realm. Satan and Ozzy will eat your soul, and that's pretty much it. Share the video all over the internet, follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to tap and slap that fucking bell. Turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because if you miss anything, well, you need to get slapped in the face like the Jets did today. Oh boy. And, you missed it. And that's pretty much it. You missed anything, you're SOL, you know what that means. If you don't know what it means, well, too bad. That's that. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab that tasty beverage. And sit back, relax, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, well, fuck you, man. That's pretty much it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, week 17, pretty much in the books. We got one game tonight. We got the 49ers! Coming your way in about a little over an hour and a half or so. Big game tonight against the Bears. Seattle won, so the Niners have to keep pace with Seattle. I don't know if the Rams won today. Who cares, really? But, Niners win. Next week, pretty much for the number 1 seed in the NFC. And home field advantage throughout the playoffs in the NFC. So, gonna be a good game. Kittle is not playing, which sucks. So, next man up for the Niners. So we'll see what happens with all that. Hey, the Giants won today! Yay! Big fucking whoop. Now the Raiders have the number 1 pick, because they pretty much they lose next week to the Kansas City Chiefs. They get the number 1 pick. Not that it matters. So the Raiders lose, and I think I think the Giants lose next week. They play the Cowboys next week at home. Nobody cares about that. But, hey, the Jets could get the number 1 pick. I doubt that, but the Jets got blitzed today. I mean, destroyed. It was like 35-3 at the half. I turned the game off. I was like, I can't watch this shit, man. I can't watch my side team anymore. They were just pitiful. New York football is pitiful right now. The last couple of seasons has been horrible. I know last season for the Niners was just, bad because we lost almost everybody. 6-11, we turned that around, huh? Pretty much. See if the 49ers can go to 12-4 tonight, and maybe go 13-4 next week. Don't know what time the game will be. It depends on what happens in the Niner game tonight. So, maybe, just maybe, we might get another Sunday night game. That would be fun. But we'll see what happens with that. But Niners, they lose tonight. They can't go lower than the 6th seed. So either they're going to face the Eagles, they get home field, or they get the number 5 seed and they go to Tampa Bay, or they go to Carolina. And Carolina did nothing for the Niners today, you fuckers. Damn it! It happens. Good thing I only bet $5 on the game, so I lost $5. Big fucking whoop. But it is what it is. But we'll see what happens with the Rams. I hope they lost, but they're playing Atlanta, the Falcons, So they got 2 easy games. They're playing Arizona next week. I think at home. Because it's division week again, so we got that. The Jets play the Bills next week. Bills lost. So that means happy AFC East to you there, New England. Who knew they were going to win the division? I didn't have that on my bingo card. Shit. But in any case, we got all that. So that's that. So good week of football. A lot of interesting happenings. Steelers and Otaku's Ravens next week for the AFC North title. Oh, Otaku will go crash out if the Ravens lose. I mean, maybe you won't care, but because I don't see the Ravens getting out of the AFC anyway. So even if they make the playoffs, they'll probably lose in the first round. So that, as they say, is that. So we move on. But I hope you had a great Sunday, the final weekend of 2025. We are 3 days away, pretty much from dropping that sphere. And we'll see what happens with that. And we move on. But you had a great day? Good. If not, well, too bad. Gonna get warmer here. Gonna rain a little bit. Not too much. A little bit tonight, a little bit tomorrow. Not melt any of this the fucking snow that's on the ground. So, yeah, I mean, I have a doctor appointment tomorrow, and I gotta come right back, so, not a big thing, so, and then Tuesday I got another doctor appointment, and then I'm pretty much done for the year, and then I got the first week of 2026, I got a lot of appointments. It's just insane, so, but, you know how it is, but, medical doctor, physical therapy, therapist, I mean, psychiatrist, it's just insane with me. But it is what it is. But mostly next year, going to really focus on my mental and physical health. And try to get much better, hopefully. I'm striving for the summer, but we'll see right now. But, no, not in the best health. My back is still killing me, but still an ache. I still got aches and pains. Hey, I'm 49, it is what it is. You get older, you get, to get the snack, crackle, and pop feeling. Your bones start aching, your joints start aching, It is what it is. So, and if you are healthy at my age, you still got the aches and pains if you work a lot. But it is what it is. Alright, moving on. That's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this Sunday evening, after 8 minutes of spiel, but you clipped it, and I don't give a shit, it is time for your late and out-of-date AEW World's End 2025 review for last night, December the 27th, 2025, and we are from the Now Arena, now, everything I'm saying right now is happening now. You missed it if you didn't get that, but hey, if you don't like me saying that line from Spaceballs, tough shit. One of my favorite movies from the 80s. Just good shit. There's only one man who would dare raspberry me. Lone Star. Funniest movie ever. I can't wait for the sequel in 2027. I mean, that's gonna be a laugher. Woo! I mean, next year's movies look pretty good, too. Got a couple of horror movies coming out. What's it called? Primate? That movie with all the apes killing everyone, killing people and shit. I'm like, what is this? King Kong had babies or some shit? Or maybe it's like Planet of the Apes Gone Wild. Anyway, that looks pretty good from what the trailers I've seen. That's pretty good. 28 Days Later is coming out with another fucking movie. But at least this one looks good. The last one wasn't that great. Horror, everybody says horror movies are getting stale, and it's the same rinse and repeat. Where they come out with demonic possession movies, or there's not really any serial killer movies like Mike Myers. What am I saying? Well, yeah, Michael Myers and Jason and Freddy, Chucky, nothing like that. No Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboots or anything like that. I don't think we're gonna get another serial killer type movie or franchise in the next 5-10 years. I don't know. I heard rumors they're gonna do another Friday the 13th. I don't know if that's gonna be good because the last reboot wasn't great. Even though it had Sam from Supernatural in it. I mean, it was okay. It was like the origin, basically, of Jason Voorhees. I mean, how many times we've seen that? Same thing with Michael Myers. When the John Carpenter version of that trilogy. Basically, it was the same, almost the same. Actually, it wasn't a reboot per se, but it was in John Carpenter's mind. But Halloween Kills. What was it? What was the first one? Halloween Kills. Well, Halloween Kills was the second one. Halloween Ends was the last one, which sucked so bad. But I don't think we're going to get another horror franchise ever. So, all you people that grew up around that time, the 80s with those slashers, probably won't get any of those. I don't even think we're getting another Saw movie. I think the last one was Saw 10. I heard maybe Saw 11 might come out, but why? Why would you do Saw 11? I know Scream 7 is coming out next year, I think. Not that Scream 6 was great, but, I mean, you have a horror franchise, and you go to like 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. I mean, it's time to stop a little bit. I mean, the Halloween franchise, I believe, has had 14 or 15 actual movies. Including the 6 movies that were rebooted. Because I think it went up to Halloween, the last actual Halloween before the reboots, I think was, Halloween, which one was that? I think it was Halloween H2O. I could be wrong, but that was, I believe, number 8. So, you add the 6 that just came out in the last few years, that's 14. I could be wrong, 14 or 15. But that doesn't even come close. I mean, that's the longest horror franchise, I believe, in history. Because Nightmare on Elm Street, I think, is around 8 or 9. Friday the 13th was at 12. Because Jason X, and then the reboot, that's 12. That's 11, I should say. So they're coming out with another one, so that's actually 12. And I think Nightmare on Elm Street went up. Well, if you think Freddy vs. Jason, that's really a Nightmare on Elm Street type movie, but so I think that's around between 9 and 11 or 12. So lots of movies, but still none coming out right now of those slasher movies. Chucky is done, at 8. Cult of Chucky was the last one, which sucked. I wasn't a big fan of Cult of Chucky, but people loved it. Okay, go on that. The TV show was actually good. They cut it off at season 2. Season 2 or 3. But they're thinking of making a Michael Myers TV show. We'll see what happens with that. I mean, back in the day, they had Freddy's Nightmares on Channel 9, late at night. It was alright, nothing great, but still. Alright, enough about movies and horror stuff and blah blah blah. Let's get to wrestling. Alright, so we are from the Now Arena in Chicago, Illinois. And our commentary team of Man Behind the Mask, Excalibur, Brian Fagelson, Danielson, commentatorson, who lies through his teeth, son. Yes! Tony Baloney, Schiavone, or Tony Schiavone for all you people that love Jericho. And Jericho, there's a update on Jericho. He might be at the January 5th Netflix 1-year anniversary show. I'll believe it when I see it, because his contract ends on New Year's Eve. So we'll see. I mean, even Jericho said in his last interview, never say never. You never know. So, we'll see. On January 5th, could be a big, huge show. We got Roman and Brock are going to be on that show. That's big, huge. So, we got that. Yes, we got that. Tony Baloney, Schiavone, and Nigel McGuinness, me love. The man from England. The only good part of it. But I digress. Moving on. Alright, so this pay-per-view was epic. I mean, the main show matches were great, except for maybe the women's title match with Chris Cakelander and Jamie Hayter. That was probably the only low light of the show. Every match was just a banger. And that's it. But let's get to the pre-show, which I didn't really see, but we'll talk about it. Like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. As always. Alright, so 0 Hour begins with the Sisters of Sin. My Girl Julia Hart and Chicago's own Sky Blue taking on Maya World and Hyann the Huntress, who are now officially all elites. That's good for them. Not that they're going to be used much, but I mean, we'll see. The Sisters of Sin get the win after some super kicks, stagger Hyann the Huntress, then an assisted swinging rock bottom, rock bottom, Stone Cold. Sky Blue gets the pin in 6 minutes. That's pretty much it. Alright, decent match. Alright, second match on the pre-show. Zach Gibson, one half of the grizzled young veterans, along with James Drake at ringside. He takes on the man from the Bronx, New York, and that's Eddie Kingston. It was a decent match, a little over 5.5 minutes. Eddie gets the win after pretty much a slap to the... Gibson just went slap to the face of Eddie. That woke him up. That pissed him off. Then they have a slap fest. Eddie wins that easily. And then an insigity to Mr. Gibson. Then a DDT. Okay, you're not... Jake Roberts! Tommy, you could have picked anybody to be your partner, but you picked Jake Roberts, you idiot! Okay, Terry, calm down. Who's a hardcore legend in Japan? Japan, #1. Forever! Not ever! Okay, thank you. Anyway, so Eddie gets the win. And that's that. After the match, 2-on-1 beatdown until a returning star and a returning friend of Eddie Kingston's, that's the Funky Monkey himself, Ortiz, who we haven't seen in 2 years. He comes back for the save, so I guess Tony Khan's like, hey, we need you back. Get back, come on. So I guess Eddie Kingston's kind of doing a little bit of a LAX reunion with Ortiz. Homicide is pretty much retired. And Mike Santana, we all know, is in TNA. So we get that. So, at least Ortiz is back doing something besides doing not much on the indie circuit. I saw him about a year or two ago on the indies. Had a world title match and lost to the then world champion. But good guy. He used to be in that promotion with Mike Santana before. Long time ago. But we move on. Alright, match number 3 on the pre-show. This was a bonus match, as usual, added, which this makes no sense. Máscara Dorada ese and the Ring of Honor champion Bandido Bang ese, the Ring of Honor champion. They take on Mark Davis and was it Hikaru? No, Rocky Romero ese. So we get that. Decent match, 7.5 minutes. Rocky Romero hits slice bread number 2 for a near fall. Then Bandito comes back with the X-knee into a shooting star press. on Lucky Tomato before Bandito launches Dorado into the mid and into everybody. I mean, he launched him in the air onto Mark Davis. He gets back in, hits the 21 plex on Rocky Romero. What else does he do but take pins these days? But anyway, Bandito, Esse, and Mascara Dorada get the win over the Don Callis family jobbers, and that's pretty much it. But at least it was a decent match. Not great, but whatever. Alright, then the final match on the pre-show. We had an 8-man tag team match. We had Jet Speed of Kevin Knight, the Jet, and Speedball Mike Bailey teaming up with Jurassic Express, Jungle Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus. They take on the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, and the Gates of Agony, Toa Leona, and Bishop Quan! I know not Quan! I don't. But I don't know him. Hey, if you ever play Final Fantasy IX, you do not get that reference. So go play it right now. And when you get to that part where BV talks to his dad, well, at the time wasn't his dad, but, you know. You played it, first disc. Trust me, get to that point where BV talks to this guy that looks like his dad. He says, "Oh, you look like Quan." Quan? I know that Quan. Not Vivi, what was his name? Quina. Or Quina, as we call him. The big fat guy who eats everything. He's fat! Yeah, pretty much, Scott. That son of a bitch is fat! Not make a bleed. I don't know about that, Scott. He might he might use one of his many eating techniques on you and kill you. Even if you are a big Papa Pump. Shit. We get that. Anyway. Alright, so the match was meh. 9-minute match, getting to the end. Actually, it was Ricochet, sorry. Take it back. Well, he was there. Bishop Quan, Toa Leona, and, it was the entire demand, I'm sorry. So it's Ricochet, the AEW National Champion, and Bishop Quan and Toa Leona, they team up with Josh Alexander. Anyway. So, getting to the end, some knees to the chest, or enough for the hot tag to Jack Perry, everything breaks down. Ricochet get Valley Drivers Jack Perry for near fall. And then a bandage up Luchasaurus, I don't know how that happened, comes in and cleans house. Kevin Knight hits a big flippy dippity-doo onto the floor. Luchasaurus chokeslams Ricochet, and then Jack Perry, knee with the Psycho knee. 1, 2, 3, he pins the national champion, and he gets a title shot on Dynamite New Year's Smash this Wednesday night. So, there you go. Alright, decent match, 9 minutes, and that's pretty much it. Alright, then we start the show off properly with match number 1. And I thought this was going to be match of the night. I was wrong. Continental Classic semifinals. We had the winner of the Blue League, Kensuke Takeshita, taking on the runner-up in the Gold League. That's the excuse me. That's the Continental Breakfast of Champions champion and our unified champion, Kazuchika Okada. And by the way, Okada ununified the belts for this entire thing. So he loses. Not only does he lose the unified belt, or I think he keeps the unified belt. I don't know. But anyway, the Continental Breakfast of Champions belt is on the line. Go figure that one out. He's still the unified champ. But whatever happened to the Intercontinental Championship? I guess we're gonna probably talk about that, because Tony Khan has a big, huge announcement on Wednesday. I hope it's not the International Title Tournament or some shit. I'm like, who cares? You gotta be a big, huge announcement, Tony Khan. If not, we don't care. And most of the time, when Tony Khan has a big announcement, it fails. Most of the time. So we'll see what happens on Wednesday night. And that's that. Alright. Don Callis at ringside on commentary. No time limit, because it's the semifinals. This match can go 3 hours if I wanted to. But this match was great. They circle each other to start. Takeshita takes him up against the ropes. Grappling. Mat wrestling 1-on-1. Nobody gets anywhere. And then Okada takes Takeshita up against the ropes and then slaps on the titties a little bit. The chest. And then Takeshita hits a big running clothesline take over. Goes for excuse me. Goes after an armbar, sending Okada rolling over to the ropes and the outside. That's fine with the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Follows Okada to the floor. Misses a charge into the chair. Ow! That hurt. Back in, a DDT gives Okada a delayed near fall. Takeshita then uses his Super Saiyan strength. Muscles him up for a suplex. And then knocks Okada to the outside for a big flippy dippity-doo. But Okada goes after the eyes. To cut him off. Then a slam sets up the top rope. Human elbow. Yeah. Running down the ribbon. Oh, yeah. Kick it. Get it right, Miss Elizabeth. That's right, Randy. Hi, Mr. Joseph. Hi, Liz. Happy New Year. Soon. Happy New Year. Thank you. Happy New Year, everybody. Oh, yeah. Take it. Thank you. You too, Randy. That's pretty much it. Hey! What? What, Mike? I just want to say Happy New Year. It's not New Year's yet. Oh, it's fine. It's Wednesday, right? Shit. Alright, bye! Okay. Thank you, Mike. Get out of here. He forgets sometimes. I gotta remind him. I think I gotta, write notes for him. I don't know. Guy's nuts. What did you say? Nothing. Go away. Gonna put on the Niner game. Niner's coming up in an hour, so I got time. Alright, so Okada hits the top rope elbow. Then he flips everybody off. As he always does. And then some shots to face put Takeshita on his knees. But Okada goes for the Haymaker. That gets counted into one hell of a blue thunder bomb. I mean, he went, woo! Spin, spin, spin! Boom! And, as usual, he doesn't go for the cover. Back up. The Rainmaker really kind of missed. Technically. Doesn't put Takeshita down. But a German suplex does. Then another Rainmaker attempt. I think this is the third Rainmaker. Gets counted into a fruit rolled up for a near fall. Then a running knee strike gets another near fall for Okada. Then a fourth Rainmaker attempt misses, but I think it was Paul Turner gets bumped. I forgot who the referee was. I think it was Paul Turner. Who cares at this point? So we got a good old fashioned rep bump, and then Okada goes to the corner, pulls out a screwdriver, and then boom, knocks the Takeshita out. 1, 2, 3. Okada goes to the finals. This match should have been the finals, Tony Khan, you fucking idiot. But still, pretty decent match. Could have went without the stupid ending. Under 17.5 minutes, Okada gets the win. Still gave it 3.25 out of 5 stars. But good, actually 3.5 out of 5 stars. Good match, bad ending, but still. Moving on. Alright, match number 2, the other semifinal match. This was great. This match was match of the night. Kyle Fletcher and Jon Moxley! Oh. I think this was the men's match of the year in AEW. Fuck Moxley and Adam Page at All In. This was great. And I even forget Speedball and Okada. Fuck that. That's number 2 on my list, really. But anyway. This match was epic. Starts out with a feeling out process. Not like that, you fucking sick fucks. Fletcher bails to the floor. Moxley doesn't... before Moxley can get anywhere. Fletcher stalls on the floor, breaks the count, earning himself an armbar on the floor. Ow. Back in, Moxley gets sent into the corner. With some stomping. Stone Cold! Stomping mud hole in his ass! By God Almighty! Anyway. Followed by some rather hard chops. And then Moxley takes over in the corner. They go to the outside. Fletcher gets sent hard into the barricade. Ow. But then Fletcher drives Mox right back, and crunches his leg against the ring post. Ow! And that really came into play for most of the match. Fletcher then ties up the legs, one of which is tied up in the ropes. Ooh. A half crab broken up. Mox then hits a Giddy Kessa! Bang! I'll let you use it for now, Mox, but, you know. Anyway. Fletcher goes to the outside. Moxley's flippy dippity doo doesn't really work because of the leg, which allows Fletcher to come back with a Michinoku driver on the inside for a near fall. Then they trade standing clotheslines. Moxley's legs all fucked up. And then we hear that the fans actually cheering for Mox. Possible face turn? I'm interested. So, we get that. And then, Mox comes back with some right hands in the corner, staggering Fletcher. But Fletcher tosses Mox outside like a sack of potatoes. And then a bleed buster on the apron. Ow! Ooh, I was like, oh man, Moxley's neck is shattered. Oh god. But Mox somehow gets in at 9.999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999999. It wasn't a Liger Bomb per se, it was a last ride, sit out, last ride power bomb for a near fall. Then he locks on the half crab. Moxley reverses that into a bulldog choke, but Fletcher's smart enough to reverse that into an ankle lock, I think with a grapevine. Mox almost tapped, but he made it to the ropes barely. Then they go up top, a super brain buster gets blocked. Moxley hits a cutthroat superplex. Oh, that hurt. The way that Fletcher came down on his fucking head and neck. Oh! I thought Fletcher was dead. I was like, shit, he ain't moving. But somehow he finished the match. And then Regal, Regal, you idiot, says, oh, that was reckless abandonment. I mean, yeah, like, technically a point. Because that looked really, really scary. There was also one, later on in the Cake Lander Jamie Hayter match where Cake Lander picked up Jamie Hayter, came off the top rope, and like twisted, and then boom! I don't know if that was supposed to be like a Hurricanrana or a Brainbuster or a Fisherman Suplex. I don't know what it was, but Jamie Hayter landed on her neck. But she seemed to be fine. But and even Cash got a clock Wheeler when he hit that dive through the outside on who was it? On Austin Gunn. He dove like this, and then came out like this, and he had a almost half flip to save his life. He went through the table, both men went through the standing table on the barricade, but still. Man. You gotta be careful. We don't want somebody to get paralyzed in the ring or some shit. Or possibly die. Ugh, we don't need that. Anyway. Alright, so Moxley hits that wicked cutthroat superplex. Oh. But, and then Moxley, works out his leg. Get ready. His leg is fine enough to hit the stomp. But Fletcher knees him in the face for a 1 count. 1 count. Moxley's like, fuck! And the fans went nuts. Like, he gotta run! But then Fletcher's like, alright, that's it. Brain Buster gets a very near fall. As Moxley kicked out again. The fans are like, this is great! This is awesome! Not you, Mike, but, they were really cheering on Mox. Fletcher goes to look for the screwdriver in the corner. He takes off the turnbuckle pads. Not the turnbuckle itself, the pads that hold the steel thing on there. And he can't find it. He goes to the other side to look for it. He's like, oh, fuck this. And he runs right into a paradigm shift for a near fall. And a fan sensed that he was about to win. Picks up Fletcher, hits another Death Rider, basically the same move. Hits that, but Fletcher, I don't know how he kicked out at 2. And then Moxley locks in the Bulldog choke, and you could see Fletcher's face turned red, then purple, and almost blue. And referee Bryce Rensburg said, "That's it. That's it. Moxley gets the win. He goes to the finals to face Okada for the Continental Wrestling Champions title." I did not have that on my scorecard at all. I had to catch to the win. But, so I was in a 0-2 hole early. Really an 0-3 hole, but still, 0-2. So, but this match was epic. 5 out of 5. If I had to go Meltzer level, 7 stars or 10 stars. Epic. Epic, not stat. So 5 out of 5 for that. And then afterwards, Kyle Fletcher being the sore loser that he is, chop blocked the Moxley's leg. So, I was like, oh great, Moxley's going to come in less than 100%. I'm going to get Okada for the 3rd year in a row, or 4th year in a row. No, because he has the belt for 648 days. So, a little over a year and a half with his 2nd reign as Continental Champion. But I think he's won the tournament 2 or 3 times. So, I'm like, oh great, we're going to have him win again. We'll see. We get that. But, great match there. Great match. First 2 matches were epic. Alright, then we get to match number 3 for the tag team titles in a Chicago street fight. We had the Bang Bang Gang of Austin Gunn and Juice Robinson. They take on the AEW Tag Team Champions, FTR. What's up, Fred? My boy Fred Warner on TV right now. What's up, Fred? Coming back, hopefully, for the Super Bowl or the NFC title game. He's ahead of schedule right now, but the Niners get to the NFC title game. He could possibly come back, and the Niners love that. Love it. I love it. They're showing the Eagles and Bills highlights. I think the Eagles won. No, actually, no, maybe. I think it's going to overtime. Wait, did he? Ooh. They're showing him not getting in. So, the Bills just scored. I don't know if is the game still on? Let me check. Oh, they're having a booth review! Oh, this would be huge. This game could go into overtime. Oh, yep. His arm is down at pretty much the half-yard line. So, the Bills have a timeout. I don't know if they're going to put more time on the clock. So, the Bills could tie this game up anyway. Alright, so the scoring play was reversed, so it's still 13-6 with 18 seconds left, but they're at the half-yard line with 1 timeout. This game could go into overtime, or see if the coach for the Bills, and it's 4th and goal, mind you. Shit, I didn't even know that. I thought they were like 2nd and 3rd and goal. So see if the Eagles can make a game-winning stand. 8 seconds left. They took. Oh, now it's 9 seconds. Make up your mind, referee. So, see what happens. I think they're gonna take a timeout. Sean McDermott is taking a timeout. So, it was 18, so it took 9 seconds off the clock. I think it's going to be a running clock, but they're going to take a timeout. I don't know. So, no timeouts for the Bills. Oh, so they ran the clock after the whole shebang. So, 6 seconds left. So, the clock ran when the whistle, restarted. So, the clock ran, and then, timeout! It should be 7 seconds, because I was watching, now they put back 8 seconds. There you go. So he called timeout right as the clock was reset. So if the Bills score, McDermott says, "I'm going for 2, so I want to win this game to stay, in the AFC East race." Because the Patriots blew out the Jets. And they blew out the Jets, and the Bills lose. The Patriots get the AFC East title. And he get in? He got in. Touchdown, Bills. So let's see if the Bills actually go for 2. I think they are to win the game. So this will be huge for the Bills because next week is division week, and I think the Bills got the Jets. Yeah, Bills got the Jets in Buffalo, mind you. Buffalo, New York, Gene. Let's see what happens with that. That game is going to be the AFC East and possibly the number 2 or maybe the number 1 seed if Denver loses. I think Denver's got the Chargers, so they already won the division. So see what happens with that. So timeout by Philadelphia. They got 1 left, so I can't use another one. So anyway. So, lots of good football on today. I mean, it's great. Playoff time, squeaky bum time, put your hands on your ass and sit and rotate. But, good stuff. Alright, enough about that. Alright, so FTR, Dax, the Axe, Hardwood, and Cash. He's got a clock! Wheeler, Rich Stokely, the man that gets no hose Hathaway. This was a pretty good match. So, we're gonna brawl to start. Austin Gunn coming out like a member of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with a trash can on his back. They brawl. Juice Robinson and Dax Hardwood brawl into the crowd, and then Cash got a clock. Wheeler punches Austin down on the stage, beats him down with his own trash can. Not the trash can lid he had, but he beats him down with a trash can. All right, 2-point conversion is no good! No good! Oh no! He had him. I think he had him wide open too, and he just threw it. He underthrew it. So the Bills lose. Patriots win the AFC East. So right now, looks like they're gonna get the number 2 seed. Unless it depends on what Denver does next week. So get that. The Bills will get the number 5 seed. I believe the number 5 seed. Oh, he had him and he let him too much. And, yeah, he knew it too. He knew it. He knew it too, but the Eagles can't go higher than number 2, so. So they pretty much are locked in at number 3. They are locked in at number 3. So they could get the Niners, they could get the Rams. So, whatever happens tonight, could coincide with next week, with the wild card round. So, we will move on with that. Let's see there's 5 seconds left to see if the Bills can actually maybe recover this onside kick, but we'll see. And, looks like the Eagles won this game. Unless by some chicanery. Boing! Nope. That didn't happen. Eagles win 13-12. And then the Niners game's coming up in a little bit. Niners win. They get pretty much have the number 1 seed. And it's all going to come down to next Sunday in Santa Clara against the She-Cocks. And that's it. So the Eagles will either face the Rams, the Niners, or the She-Cocks. Because the Rams have a better division record, I think, than the Seacocks do for the 5 and 6 seed. But right now, the Niners are at the number 5 seed. So even if they lose, they fall to the number 6 seed because the Rams, I think, won today. So if they win, if they win, it doesn't matter. They can't get the number 1 seed because there'll be 2 games back of Seattle. So Seattle will most likely win the number 1 seed if they beat the Niners next week and the Rams lose. So Niners can't go lower than number 6. So pretty much they can get the number 5, number 6 seed if they lose tonight, which I hope they don't. But they got the Bears who are pretty much playing for the number 2 and number 1 seed. So a lot at stake tonight. A lot at stake this week and next week. So let's get that. All right, moving on. All right, back to wrestling wheel. All right, so they fight in the crowd, and then Cash Wheeler punches Austin Gunn down on the stage, beats on him with a trash can, and a big, huge shot knocks Austin down the ramp as Dax Harwood and Juice now fight in the crowd. Juice brings Harwood back to ringside for the catapult into the ring post. Ow. Can't send him through the table, though. But instead, Cash Wheeler puts a trash can over Juice for a kendo stick shot. Ow. Probably what looked like a demolition decapitator with a trash can around Juice's body or something like that. That was kind of interesting. I'm interested. And then Austin knocks Cash Wheeler out to the outside, leaving Juice to hit a Eddie Guerrero frog splash for a near fall. Do you like that one, Eddie? It was alright. Not just kidding, it's mine though. Okay, Alright, so we get a near fall of that, and a belt to face drops Juice, which pretty much split him open. We got blood! You want blood! In the last match, Moxley chipped his tooth, and he was busted open a little bit. Not his head, but his mouth. So we got a little bit of blood. We got blood in this match. Bell-Two-Face drops Juice, but Austin comes back with a trash can lid to the head of Dax, the Axe Harwood. And then Austin gets sent over the announcer's table. Then hit Excalibur. Damn. Which leads FTR to crush Juice Robinson's leg, which was already injured about a week or two ago, with a chair, and a middle rope stomp to the knee, like we saw a couple weeks ago as well, has Juice in big-time trouble. So then, Cash Wheeler mocks him with the title belt as he's getting pretty much in pain. Also, I think they were locking in the Indian Death Lock again. But also comes back, knocks Wheeler through a table at ringside. But Juice is still in trouble. He grabs the ropes, which means nothing. You don't get no rope break. So Juice goes with a fire extinguisher that Austin Gunn had. He took it out from underneath the ring, put it in the ring. Juice somehow grabbed it, and he turns around, right to Dax Harwood, kind of momentarily blinding him. And then Stokely broke up the count as Juice tried to go for the cover. After that, Stokely broke up the count. And then I think it was Stokely tried for a chair shot. Juice easily blocked that. And Stokely almost got hit in the face with it. But that earns him a shove over that was Stokely with a scary spot as Juice shoved him over the table, so I kind of overshot the table. Landed really hard on the floor, but he was okay. Then FTR hits the Shatter Machine, and they're about to retain the titles. Austin Gunn makes the save. So then we get a couple of spike power drivers, including one on the belt to Austin Gunn, who was also busted wide open. So the second one on the belt gets the win for FTR. They retain the AEW Tag Team titles in pretty much about 17 minutes. But good match, 3.25 out of 5 stars. So FTR will go into 2026 as the 3-time AEW Tag Team Champions. There you go. Good match, though. Alright, match number 4. for the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship, we had the CEO, Mercedes Moné, and the teaming up with her so-called bestie, the Ring of Honor Forever Champion, that has held the belt for over 1,100 days. 4 years almost. It's getting there. Another 100 and so days, another 3 months. Maybe by the summer, if she doesn't lose that belt by Supercard, whenever that is, we could have 4 years of Athena as Ring of Honor Women's Champ. The longest reigning champion in Ring of Honor history. And that's talking about a long way. Even with people, she smashes records. Smashed Samoa Joe's almost 2-year reign, Jay Lethal's 1.5-year reign. For longest reigning champions in Ring of Honor history, she's almost double that. Pretty much almost doubled Samoa Joe's reign as champion. He had it like for 600 and change. Almost 2 years. But I digress. Alright, so they team up. They take on the AEW Women's Tag Team Champions, the Babes of Wrath. Willow Nightingale, the Resident Fungo, bam! And Holly Cameron. It was a decent match. It wasn't that bad, but decent. So it starts with Willow Nightingale knocking Mercedes Moné in the corner. Follows off some big clotheslines. Holly comes in for a Russian leg sweep. Cuts Athena off before she can come in and interfere. But then Mercedes Moné's Hurricanrana from the apron gets countered with a power bomb. Ow! On the apron. Ooh, by I think it was Willow. And then one mean spear. Wasn't really that big, but drops Athena on the outside. They get back in. Mercedes hits the backstabber for a near fall on Holly Cameron. Followed by the running shotgun knees in the corner for another near fall. And then we cool down a little bit with a front face lock circa 1921. Has Harley in trouble, but she DDTs her way out of it. Gets the hot tag. The Willow Nightingale comes in, cleans house. But Athena muscles her up using that super senior strength. Muscles her up for a spinning knee to face for a near fall. And then Harley comes back in for some neck breakers before going up top. She gets caught by Mercedes and Athena. And a double powerbomb that gets a double powerbomb from Willow Nightingale, so not really a Tower of Doom spot. And then Harley hits a double high cross body for a near fall. And then Soul Food into a suplex combo gets another near fall. But then Athena with the O-face on Harley to the floor. That leaves Willow in some trouble. She gets caught with a statement maker. Which just broken up with a Death Valley driver by Harley as she came back in. Athena then hits Mercedes by mistake. Trying to make the save. And then Harley hits, that's her finisher, saying Athena pretty much out of the match to the outside. Willow then rolls Mercedes up with a handful of undies and thong. 1, 2, 3 to retain the AEW Tag Team titles. Now, I was thinking that Mercedes and Athena were going to turn on each other either during or after the match. So we get that. Match was alright. 2.5 out of 5 stars. The Babes of Wrath retained the tag team titles. I don't think they were going to lose them on their first offense. But it is what it is. So you get that. Moving on. If I can. Alright, match number 5. One-on-one match. Gabe Kidd takes on, hi guys, it's me, Darby. I just wanted to let you know, guys, that I beat myself up in this match. I bled buckets for you guys because I'm so fucking emo. I love you guys. I live in a car in Seattle. And I weigh 150 pounds soaking wet. That idiot Darby. But anyway, this match was barbaric. I'm surprised it wasn't a hardcore match, but they beat the hell out of each other. I mean, pretty much, Gabe Kidd was beating the crap out of Darby, throwing him into the barricade. Darby gets sent over the barricade, catapulted through the ring steps. Holy shit! And Darby's, like, he had a cut from ear to ear. He was gushing blood. Damn. And he looked like out of it. I thought he looked like he was, like, he got a concussion. Oh, he was, like, knocked the fuck out. Damn, Gabe Kidd. Be easy. Tranquilo, you know? They go to the outside again. Darby gets in a drop kick to send a chair into Gabe Kidd's face. And then Gabe Kidd is sat in the chair for a missile drop kick. But he comes back to drop kick Darby into the corner, back inside the ring. And, eventually Gabe Kidd was busted wide open, too. Not from the blood that was coming from Darby's head and face and everything, but, you know, I think from the chair. But anyway. Darby breaks up a super power driver with a sunset flip bomb. Then he hits the coffin drop. But he couldn't get the cover because his back gave out. And then Gabe Kidd falls to the outside where Darby hits another coffin drop. Ow. And then we see Gabe Kidd is really busted wide open. I mean, there was so much blood on the mat in this match, they had to clean the mat like 3 times. It was insane. It was insane! Ow. Sorry about that. So he gets sent back inside for a near fall. Darby locks in the Scorpion, hits the Scorpion Death Drop, locks in the Scorpion Death Lock. Gabe Kidd escapes that, and hits a power driver for a near fall. But Darby comes back to reverse a choke into a inside cradle. 1, 2, 3. Hey, Darby wins an actual semi one-on-one match. Who knew? But Darby, hi guys, I won! Darby wins in under 13 minutes. Match was decent. 3 out of 5 stars. And that's pretty much it. Alright. Match number 6. Mixed Nuts Mayhem match. Anything goes. We had the Death Riders of Claudio Castagnoli, the Swiss. The Dancing Fool, Danny Garcia. That idiot, William Yuta. and Marina Shafir takes on Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy, and the funky chicken himself, Mr. Mark Briscoe, the TNT champion. They team up with Timeless Tony Stark, Darling Bosom. Alright, this match was wild. I mean, wild. Women are left in the ring. Everybody else brawls on the outside. That gets broken up. Mark forearms William Yuta down. Followed by some right hands in the corner. Claudio then Tiger uppercut to Roddy in the corner. Stomps away, but Roddy comes right back with some mean old chops. Orange Cassidy comes back in. Mocks Danny Garcia with his stupid dance. I don't know why. He was like... takes him down pretty easily. Marina Shafir and then Orange Cassidy trade kicks to the leg. All the the doom kicks. And then Orange Cassidy backdrops her to the floor. Ow. And then Claudio and William Yuta come back in to take Orange Cassidy down, setting up a whole bunch of running shots in the corner. Roddy can't really make the save, so he gets sent in the corner for another clothesline train of doom. Mark Briscoe gets chopped down. And then we get a posing camel clutch, fucks him in the ass, and makes him humble. Pretty much. And then a double big boot puts him down. Tony Storm comes back in, saves Mark, goes after Marina Shafir, who gets sent to the outside. Back in, Claudio goes after Tony Storm. Mark Briscoe makes the save, and a double shoulder block drops Claudio. And Tony Storm's like, ooh. Very nice, very nice, very nice, very evil, very nice. Oh, Danhausen might be going to NXT soon. Mr. Danhausen, I will curse you. Curse you. Look at that. Orange Cassidy has to save Tony from Danny Garcia's power driver. Then they do like a salsa dance. And take out William Yuta and I think it was Marina Shafir as well. Tony didn't even with a dip. I put my hand upon your hip. When we dip that dip, you dip. Remember that song? Yeah, I remember that song too. Crazy. And I forgot who sang that. I think it was the 69 Boys or something like that. Anyway, so Tony dips Orange Cassidy, who hit like a eat defeat. Fans are like, ooh, great. Marty Shafir comes back in, gets pulled to the outside, leaving the Death Riders to take over on Orange Cassidy. Tony Storm then sends Danny Garcia and William Yuta into each other, drops them both with German suplexes. Impressive. Impressive. Coletta comes back to swing Tony Storm. And then we get Roddy and Marina. The fans are like, oh shit. Marina kicks him down, but Roddy chops her in the back. And everybody's like, oh my god! Domestic violence! Pretty much. And then Orange Cassidy with the Orange Punch, sending William Yuta into the corner for Tony Storm's sexy running hip attack. And then Mark Briscoe hits the Jay Briscoe like Jay Driller. Boom! 1, 2, 3. Good. William Yuta got the loss. Ha 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 ha! Because William Yuta's the type of guy that takes the loss for his team. Because he sucks. Alright, so the Conglomeration and Tony Storm get the win in under 13 minutes. It was wild. It was crazy. It was, you, sir, Jay Briscoe, reach for the sky, boy. As he would say, it was crazy as shit. And they went, buck wild on that bitch. What? Buck wild on that bitch. Pretty much. This is you, Jay. Let me get that. Alright, so good match. 3.25 out of 5 stars, and that's it. After the match, the rest of the Conglomeration come out to celebrate. Who was that? Willow Nightingale came out. Kyle O'Reilly came out. I don't know who else came out. And then my fourth amazingly hot Asian wife, Mina Shirakawa, comes out, jumps into Tony Storm's arms. Should have been me. Should have been me. And then Orange Cassidy does it for no apparent reason. And then Mina on Twitter is like, hey, what are you doing? With the big googly eyes. Ah! I think Tony Storm liked it. Then again, I don't know. Hey, if it was me, I'd jump into freaking Mina's arms. Or let her jump onto my dick. I mean, my lap. I mean, my arms. I'm sorry. Alright, so we got that. So, the good guys get the win, and that's it. And we have fun afterwards. Alright, then we go to the back. This was a very talked about segment on Twitter. And if you saw my short on this channel, you know. Lexi Nair tries to get a word with Mercedes Moné. He goes into a locker room and has a mega crash out, breaking TVs, breaking everything in her locker room, basically. And then she comes out and is like, I'm fine. And basically she says, Willow Nightingale, I will face you on Dynamite for the TBS title, and I promise to beat your fucking ass. I mean, she legit said the F word. But it's on pay-per-view, so you can say that. But, like, damn. If this was on TBS and TNT, you wouldn't hear that. Or on Netflix. But, damn, Mercedes crashed out. I mean, mega crashed out. Woo! Shit. So the the downward spiral of Mercedes Moné continues. I don't think Willow wins the title on Wednesday night, but that'll be a really big party pooper for Mercedes to lose one of her big titles going into 2026. So that could become 9 belts Moné going into the new year. I mean, we'll have to see. And Mercedes beat Willow to get the TBS title. So we can have a reverse from 2025, I believe. Not 24, I think. Whatever it was. We get that. So we'll see what happens with that. But I gave that 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, match number 7 for the AEW Women's Championship. Chris Kicklander takes on Jamie Hayter, otherwise known as Daphne from Scooby-Doo! Shaggy? Ooh, Scooby Snack! Ooh, get you! I was like, I watch too much TV. Anyway, fans are not really thrilled. This match was kind of a downer. This is probably the low point of the pay-per-view. So they lock up against the ropes. Jamie gets knocked to the outside, comes right back in, gets rolled up for a near fall, and then one hell of a shoulder block drops her again, and then more shoulder blocks by Chris Cakelander. She was pretty much in control from the start. Jamie gets sent into the ropes with a slingshot famouser. You don't see that every day. To knock her to the outside. Then they catapult, sends Jamie into the ring post. Ow. And Chris Cakelander just whipping her ass. Then back in, Cakelander hits a splash for a near fall. And then finally, Jamie comes back with some big time chops in the corner. Goes for a Vader bomb. Missed. No water in the pool for you, Missy. The Cakelander, I should say. Jamie hit her clotheslines her outside to take over. She has a drop kick off the announcer's table. Drops Statlander again. And followed up by an explosive suplex for a near fall back on the inside of the ring. And then Cakelander has a fight out of what looked like a rock bottom attempt. They trade forearms until Jamie Hayter hits one big time Lariato for a near fall. Then an explosive suplex for another near fall for Jamie Hayter. Then Chris Cakelander drops her for a near fall. Then takes Jamie Hayter up top, which looked like a super spinning Falcon Arrow. Remember how I said Jamie Hayter landed on her head and neck in a really scary spot? That's what it was. So it was a spinning Falcon Arrow, or a Michinoku Driver. It looked like to me, but it looked kind of like a little bit off. But thankfully, Jamie Hayter didn't get seriously injured or anything. But anyway, she gets back up. I don't know how. Hits a running knee for a near fall. Then they trade super kicks. And then Jamie with the hate breaker, whatever that, I think it's a backbreaker, for a near fall. Cakelander comes back up with a big time clothesline. Then they fight over basically a tombstone power driver. And then Cakelander gets planted with Saturday Night Fever by Jamie Hayter. And then Jamie Hayter tries for a fireman's carry. But Chris Cakelander reverses into a tombstone power driver. 1, 2, 3, and just under 18 minutes, Chris Cakelander retains the AEW Women's Championship. Pretty decent match. 3 out of 5 stars. And that's it. Then we move on. Alright, then we get a recap of the semifinals of the Continental Classic. And then Don Callis is all ready for Kazuchika Okada to prove his greatness once again and winning the Continental Classic for pretty much the 3rd year in a row. Doesn't like Jon Moxley, so it was time for some revenge. I guess because of the scar that he had like a couple years ago. Still has that fucking thing. Crazy. Even though I think that's painted on. I think that scar is way, that scar has been healed for like 2 years. I think he just painted it on, just look cool. Alright, moving on. Match number 8 on your scorecard. For the Continental Breakfast of Champions title, Okada versus Moxley. I still don't understand that Okada still has the unified belt. I don't get that. Even though he ununified it. So I guess we don't get a unified belt anymore because it's gone. What a waste of a title that was, huh? Pretty much. Basically, it was the unified title, then you had the Intercontinental title and the Continental title. So Okada had 3 belts. Now he has 0! Or 1. I don't know if he has a belt anymore. But he's defending the Continental Breakfast of Champions title. This match was great as well. Not great like Fletcher and Mox, but this was pretty damn good. I'm not going to go through everything. So we have that, but Okada was working on the leg, locked in the Texas Cloverleaf. Mox got to the ropes somehow. Whoops. Calm down. There you go. Sorry about that. My notes went a little bit haywire. and it won't stop. So, we'll see what happens with that. And, why did they say the Niners have a 32% chance of the number 5 seed now? Or to get the number 1 seed. See, Cox have a 53% chance. They could probably get it. They get it. They got the Niners next week. The Rams have a 5% chance. They play on Monday Night Football, I think. They got the Falcons on Monday Night Football. Oh, so I gotta watch that. Great. And Raw. But I'm watching Raw tomorrow. I'll probably just just use my phone and watch the highlights. Or just check in with the game here and there. But we got that. Anyway, alright, I gotta go because I gotta get this done because the Niners game is coming up in about 15 minutes. Alright, so a backbreaker. Wait, where am I? Sorry, I went to the next match. Sorry. Alright, so we're getting to the end of the match. And like I said, Okada was working on the leg. And Moxley was just doing what he could. But we're getting to the end. A missed charge in the corner lets Moxley hit the Gotch-style pile driver. Or the Minoru Suzuki-like pile driver. Sorry. For near fall. Can't get the paradigm shit. Okada kicks him in the balls. And then hits the Rainmaker. It was like, oh great, he won it again. But Moxley kicked out at 2. The fans are going nuts. Then Okada gets all mad, brings in the Continental Classic belt. But Moxley uses that distraction to kick Okada in his little huevos. His little dumplings, if you will. And then the referee's like, what? I think it was Stephon Smith's like, oh, what happened? You missed it. That's what you did. That's what happened. You missed it. Anyway. So Okada wins a slugfest, hits the Rainmaker, doesn't go for the cover. Oh, that was not good for Okada because that let Moxley hit the paradigm shit for a very near fall. Hits another one. Okada got up at 1. And the fans like, what? So Moxley's like, alright. Backs up, hits the stomp. Then picks up Okada, hits the Death Rider. 1, 2, 3, we have a new Continental Breakfast of Champions champion, and that is Jon Moxley in 20 minutes. An epic match. 3.5 out of 5 stars. So Moxley pins Okada. We don't have a Continental Champion anymore. Okada's reign ends at 648 days. So finally he lost the belt. So get that. And then Tony Baloney gets in the ring to do a post-match interview with the new champ. The Death Riders all come out. Claudio, William Yuta, Danny Garcia. I don't think we saw Pac. I don't want to miss Pac. But, and then Marina Shafir, they all come out. I was like, oh great, they're gonna turn on him now. They didn't turn on him, I was surprised. Moxley cuts a humongously great promo. Says the title belongs to everyone in the tournament, the fans of wrestling, and my teammates here in the Death Riders. Everybody, the entire roster, the hardest working wrestlers going today, and we are going to give the fans what we want. AEW is the best promotion in the world. Like that. So basically a big time babyface turn, or close to it at least. The fans loved it. I loved it. I love the promo itself. So now I'm more invested in Mox now than I was before. And I know people hate him as champ, the world champ, because the Death Riders is still a thing. But I have a feeling that going into 2026, the Death Riders are going to get jealous, and they're going to start going after Mox, and eventually Mox will probably have to defend the belt against, like, Pac. And, Pac, he'll beat William Yuta easily. He'll beat William Yuta, probably have a good match with Pac, a good match with Danny Garcia, and I think an even better match with Claudio than the first one they had in the tournament. So, we'll see what happens with that, but I think Mox holds the belt. I don't know if he holds the belt all through next year, because there's going to be another Continental Classic next year. There were talk about a women's Continental Classic. That might be the big announcement. Not as a big thing, but, you know, it's good for the women, but not a big thing for us wrestling fans. But it is what it is. And that's that. Alright, so, great match, 3.5 out of 5 stars. Great promo from Mox, and we'll see what happens on the final Dynamite of the year. Probably have a celebration or something. We'll see. Alright, then, match number 9, the main event for the AEW World Heavyweight title. Fatal 4-way match. The champion Samoa Joe taking on Swerve Strickland with my good buddy, Prince Nana. Buy his coffee, please. On PrinceNanaCoffee.com. Swerve Strickland. We'll swerve with Nana. Hangman Adam Page about to do some cowboy shit. And our resident scumbag, the man who cashed in his casino gauntlet contract, Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker, MJF. Alright, pretty good match. Got a Tower of Doom spot. That's always nice. Wild ending. So let's get to the end. The Ops come out. Will Hobbs, Powerhouse Will Hobbs, and it's time for the man. Get in here. Hook, ladies and gentlemen. I think Shibata came out. Maybe I missed Shibata. But anyway, Joe, they help Joe. Joe hits the muscle buster on Adam Page for a near fall, which you don't see often. Swerve has to save Prince Nana as Page goes after Hook, earning himself the Coquina Clutch. Swerve comes back with a Swerve Stomp. Broke that up. Joe gets powerbombed out of the corner. And then MJF knocks Swerve off the top rope. And then Adam Page gives Joe not one, but 2 buckshot lariats. And I thought he was gonna get the belt back for the third time. But MJF kicks Adam Page in his mighty big balls. Then hits the Heat Seeker on Joe. 1, 2, 3, we have a new AEW World Heavyweight Champion for the second time, our resident scumbag, MJF, in 20.5 minutes. Match was decent, not great, but good. 3.25 out of 5 stars, so the reign of terror begins again for Maxwell Jacob Fartknocker. I wouldn't be surprised if Wednesday night he brings back the Triple B belt, and we'll see what happens with that. And then MJF celebrates to end the show, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so that is it for my World's End 2025 review. I thought it was a great pay-per-view to end the year for AEW. I think AEW, even though they had a pretty bad year, they ended on a big bang note, if you know what I mean. So that's that. So we'll see what happens on Dynamite on Wednesday. See what happens with that as we go into a live collision next Saturday. And we start the Road to Revolution coming up in late March. So we got a long way to go before we get an actual AEW pay-per-view. So we have Revolution, then right after that, Dynasty, or Dynasty for you people living in Australia. And then we're on the road to Double or Nothing, like I think is in June. Because I think Dynasty is in May. I gotta check that, but... So we'll see what happens with that. Supercard of Honor should be coming around that time for Ring of Honor purposes. So we got a long way to go before we get to another pay-per-view for AEW. We're going to start off the new year with the January 7th show, and then we got Maximum Carnage the week after that. January the 14th, the day before the TNA premiere on AMC. So we have that. I think AEW is going to have a great year coming up in 2026. We have MJF as our champ, and then we'll see what happens with the other champions as we go along. Ring of Honor, chugging along still on year number 24, same thing with TNA. Almost 25 years of both companies is insane. Well, for TNA purposes. Ring of Honor, who knew they would have kept going after 2020, but we get that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. And the pay-per-view was great. 8.5 out of 10 stars. I think Kate Lander and Jamie Hayter kind of brought what could have been a 9 out of 10 pay-per-view a little bit down with that match. So I kind of brought my rating down. So 8.5 out of 10, not that shabby. So good job, AEW. Let's see what happens on Wednesday night Dynamite Live to end the new year. We got Raw Live tomorrow on Netflix. And then we got NXT tape for the year-end awards. And then we got Dynamite Live. Ring of Honor TNA will be taped this week, as always. Probably some recap shows or something. Friday night, this Friday night coming, we got live SmackDown, back to 3 hours. And then Saturday, we got live Collision. And then next Sunday is Wrestle Kingdom. So that's coming up. So a big first couple weeks of the year for 2026 in the world of wrestling. TNA's got Genesis coming up. Raw and SmackDown are going to be overseas, so a lot of tape shows. Or if you have a VPN, you get that live, like me. And then we got the Royal Rumble coming up at the end of January. So it's going to be a big, huge month of wrestling. But I will be here throughout the month of January to give you the analysis, news, and all that other shit. And we're going to keep going pretty much into the summertime of 2026. I will be here throughout the year, and then maybe take an actual break. A good break, for real. Maybe, we'll see. We'll see what happens by June and July, but that's that. But after tomorrow, I'm going to take a mini break to just end the year. I'll take Tuesday and Wednesday off to recharge. Back on Thursday, after the ball drops, I would do my 2026 show and everything. Just wish everybody a happy new year with some thoughts and everything going into 2026. And then we'll do later on in Thursday afternoon or Thursday night, we'll do the Dynamite review. So maybe my second official video, but first official review for next year. So that'll be right here on the channel. So a couple of videos right here on the channel at the start of the year. And then we'll do episode 99 of the Gilmore Chronicles with my year-end review. And then episode 100 with your Wrestle Kingdom predictions. And that's pretty much it for that. But lots of videos coming your way. Please hit that bell, because if you don't, I'll make you hit the bell so you don't miss anything. So that's that. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. I will be back tomorrow. Or actually, a little bit later with my post-game show for the Niners. Right here on the channel, a little 3-minute short. So, not an official video number 2, but we'll do a post-game show for the Niners. Win or lose. We'll see what happens with that. And then, I will be back tomorrow on my Killer Demons channel with your Monday Night Raw review. And that'll be my final video for 2026. I might put up a couple shorts on Tuesday, but that'll be it. Because after that, I won't put up any videos to Thursday. So after Monday night, early Tuesday, that's it for 2025. Alright, guys, time to watch the Niners. Go Niners, let's get that number 1 seed, beat those fucking Bears up. And that's pretty much it. Alright, guys, I'm out of here. Until next time, peace.